It's always been named that. I don't know where
What?
you were looking at. It's
Oh,
always like you can check the original video. It's moderately
Moderately
played.
played.
yeah,
Yes.
moderately
Yeah.
changed as well. But this is episode one. Again, our special guest Yoshi here, and we're gonna talk through some cool stuff. What do you think, Mr. Heaton, the Eggman?
I'm really happy that Yoshi found some time for this. We've been working pretty off and on for like the last year, and Card Fest happened for us here in North America, which all three of us were part of in one way or the other. So to be able to talk about those experiences and just kind of everything else, I think it's going to be really fun.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on the show, guys. I'm glad that we got a chance to chat it over, and I know that we trying to schedule it was a bit of a
Yes,
thing.
yeah. Yoshi, a father of two, like always busy,
That too.
despite everything else too. So we really do appreciate you taking the time.
I was talking about Brian flying over the place, and just
He's used to it, yeah.
Okay, I will get this out the way though. So one, yes, I am sick and or getting sick.
Mhm.
Just trying to fight it. And two, I have this headset on because my luggage got lost. It got to a different plane that I was not on, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to sort that out right now. But yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Homie's not having the best luck with his gear right now. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, and it's I would say like here is this issue, and then like two kids is right here. So I would
Yeah.
say I would say I'm right where you are. I think.
Touche,
Man,
touche,
it's
touche.
nice and sunny here in Phoenix. I've got no complaints.
Yeah,
I guess I'll just do
Hayden's
that.
chilling. Hayden's having the time of his life right
Mad
now.
chilling.
It's so easy.
That
I don't.
is to also like segue into it that if you hear children screaming, my son's supposed to be asleep or resting in his room right
Yes, they're
behind me.
known children. Okay, that's all we need to know.
Yes,
I think that's also
they're
a good-
okay.
Yeah.
Yelling.
That's no problem at all. I think it's also a good segue to kind of introduce yourself, who you are, where you
Yeah,
been,
man.
all that other stuff, and probably tell us, how old your kids are. So because if they're napping,
Yeah, for sure. Let's go with the kids first. So the kids, I've got two, and the older one is Silas. He's 3 years old right now, and the second one, Zechariah, with an E, not an A, is 10 months old this month. So
Yeah.
he's getting on the way. He's almost getting ready to walk. But they're both. So Silas is resting. He doesn't really fall asleep and nap anymore, but he's resting in his room. And Zechariah, or Raya, we call him, is napping right now with mommy. So it's my like good time to just stream.
Silas
Usually
is,
it's around this time.
so you
I
got like
I get to
20
play some of
minutes.
my
Is what
time.
you're saying.
Yeah. Well, we always try to do 2 hours. He stays in there for 2 hours. He knows it's gonna be in there. He's got his books if he wants to read or whatever. Doesn't really read. He just looks at the photos or
Mhm.
pictures. Getting him used to picture reading.
Yeah.
So comic books will be a thing soon.
Yeah, I remember we met at Universal too. He's mad smart. I've met Silas and Zachariah too, but
Yeah, you met him when he was like teeny tiny, huh?
yeah, teeny tiny, but
Teeny tiny. That's right. Yeah, and Silas is
very
getting
cute.
way more like his fluency in the language is very impressive, especially because he can speak too.
Mhm.
And I was not like that, so I'm not working. I'm mommy.
Mom
Got it from
side, yeah, I
mommy.
was gonna say, yeah, easy.
Yeah. She's the brains of the operation. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm out here being the brawn. So once again, my name is Yoshi Sudar. So I am an actor currently based in Los Angeles. That is going to be changing soon. I mean, I've said it before online and whatnot. I don't know if I've talked to you guys about this, but I will be moving to Indonesia come April. So end of March, I'm heading back to Indonesia.
I'm glad we caught you then, because otherwise it might be a little bit trickier. Yeah.
Yeah. And it kind of just has been happening. It's a thing that we've talked about for the past few years. And then everything kind of just came together in the last few months, and everything kind of settled like last week. So we're going to book our flights like soon and then just head off. I really want my kids to speak Indo and have that like cultural connection to my home country.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of opportunities for me there. The only thing is, I'm a big Digimon player, as you guys all know, and this is how we've gotten to know each other. They play in the Japanese meta there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, they reported at the end of the year that you're gonna be caught up, and you're like, that's not soon enough. I need to book a flight.
I need it now. They said spring of 2025, and I said I need spring 2024.
Yes.
But I'm glad that they are doing this acceleration because it won't be long where until I can use my English cards there.
Yes. Yeah.
Hopefully, maybe not for like any official big tournaments, but at least locals I can. And then with the capabilities of playing online
in whatever capacity.
That's helpful.
Sure.
I think you're fine. Yeah.
At least for me to be able
zone,
to
right?
create content for it when I'm still in Indo, because otherwise I'm gonna have to like have ship English cards to Indonesia, which is a whole nother thing, right? I had thoughts of like making it Japanese meta, but then you can't read the thing. So
sure. I know there's a really big scene there. Cardfest had an Indonesia stop too last couple of weeks. So I don't think you're going to be completely no man's land, but it is an adjustment for sure.
Yes. I actually was in town for the Cardfest when it happened in Indo.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I was hoping to be a part of the team there, but I didn't really know the people that were running it for Indo, and I ended up having to be on set anyway while I was out there during the time of the event. So all good.
Makes sense.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Cool. Well, that's really exciting, and I hope that all goes well. I know it's really intimidating to move across countries and stuff, but you've spent a lot of time in Indonesia though, at least, right? So it's not a completely new spot, but it is an adjustment.
It is, especially with the kiddos and the wife. She doesn't speak any Indo, right? So that's slowly we're gonna work on that.
Well, at least they're at an age where you can still teach them without them being like completely in North American meta. I guess I don't know. You can teach them the Japan Digimon meta from day one, and they don't have to worry about the North American stuff, right? That's your big worry, right?
Right. Yeah. That's exactly the worry.
Are you talking about language?
Nah,
I thought the North
that's
American
fine.
meta language was English.
Nah, language is forever. Like the meta keeps evolving, right? You gotta get on that train as soon as you can.
Right. He is right. I gotta get him set up right away.
That makes sense.
But then, like, unfortunately, the cards that have already come in, like, I don't want to change it to Japanese because the stuff that's there, it's so hard to get. And if I want to play like Rapid X or Magna X, they're like $80 a pop, just like normal art.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And I don't know you as a normal art kind of guy either. So
what are you talking about?
Yeah, sorry. What? I'm getting blinded over there. Is your camera working? I can't see you anymore.
What? Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I love alt arts. It's pretty foil just makes me so happy.
Yeah, it's
cardboard, shiny cardboard. It's devastating how much I enjoy it.
I was checking. Is there a TCG player in Indonesia? That's the real question.
I don't know.
What
I don't think so. It doesn't even have it in Canada, so I doubt it.
Yeah,
they can't. It's not.
I think card market's more international. So I know, especially because like when I look at cards, it shows like if it's a Japanese card or English card. So that might be your closest, and not just because I'm partnered with them, but just a heads up.
If you're partnered with them, you better send them my name so I can chat with them.
Yes, we'll do right after this guy.
Yeah. I'd imagine. I always thought the card market was all Europe. That's the thing.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
But Europe it's a whole landmass with Asia, right? There's no like ocean between the two. So
it's like Russia. It's like
Russia is the gateway.
Indo is a tiny little. Oh, it's not a tiny island, but it's a big island. But it is off.
It is an island. Yes.
Body of
bigger than Japan, smaller than Philippines type thing.
It's like 4 hours by flight.
I see. I see.
Yeah, we're all out there in Southeast Asia, close enough to each other. It's like 4 hours away from Australia and whatnot, but we're only like an hour or two away from Singapore, and I think Singapore is where we get all of our stuff.
Yeah, and also, I mean, Australia technically is in the English meta as well. So
Oceania, right?
Part of Oceania. So you can just book a flight down there if you want to play with English cards, and for some of the big events, there's an option for you too, which is cool.
You're right.
Yeah.
And also not like a bad thing either, right? When you really think about it. Like if I had to say that, I was like, yeah, let me go play in Australia. It's gonna be a day and a half to get over there. So.
I'd probably go to New Zealand though. Like I'd rather skip off to New Zealand.
Yeah, that might
I am actually more, I know the place better.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been in New Zealand before?
Yeah, so we shot Power Rangers in New Zealand, so I lived there for
okay.
about a year, and then
Oh,
the years after, I kept getting brought back for like 3 more seasons after that. So I was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
makes sense. That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I've only been to Australia once. I filmed something last year in Australia, but only for like 2 weeks.
Mm.
Okay.
So I was in Melbourne.
Melbourne. Yeah. Okay. That's like
Only the major
the
cities.
raffle keeps going down and like ding Melbourne.
That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So
So yeah,
yeah.
but man, I've loved card games for a really really long time. I know a lot of people kind of just got to know me with cards in when Digimon got big, mostly
Guilty.
because that's when I kind of started back up with TCGs once having an online presence.
Mm-hmm.
But prior to my earliest like card game memory would have to be, you know what? I actually don't remember if it was Pokemon or Digimon actually.
Mm.
Oh, like the
It,
original Digimon.
the
Yeah.
original Digimon, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it was probably Pokemon because I think that was more like popularized at my
Mm-hmm.
age at the time because I had just moved to America when I was like 9.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe around 10 we started playing a little bit of Pokemon. We traded it, played it,
Sure.
played it. We didn't really know
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
we were
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
And then I remember my mom, like, I came home and all of my cards were in a garbage bag and it was being given to somebody.
Oh
Like my
wow.
That's
Charizard, my Venusaur,
just
all of
Mm-hmm.
that. You know what I'm saying? Like just
made someone else a
thousands
millionaire.
now, thousands of dollars worth
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah. Yeah. New core memory. Just mom, how could you?
And we paid for it ourselves because my parents wouldn't let me do that because at the time they were okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no. I think Pokemon they bought it from me. And then they found out it was called Pocket Monsters.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that was
Originally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was done.
No
Mm.
And then
monsters in this
after
household.
that, we had to buy stuff ourselves. And then
Sure.
I think I got into Digimon, got all the Digimon stuff. That's where I learned about, like, my favorite was one of my favorites is Shadramon, which wasn't in the show at all.
Yeah.
Shadramon. How do you spell that?
Shadramon or Shadramon, whatever you want to call it, but it's
Yeah.
Wormmon's Digi-Egg of Courage armor form.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like
So
a
they
flame moth
actually
kind of
did
thing.
all of the different Digi-Eggs for all the different, like Wormmon has one for all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Terriermon has all of them, and all of them. There's like a bunch of them, but they just never put it out. But Shadramon or Shadramon was a card that I was like, yo, this is so sick. Who is
Yeah.
this guy? And then, unfortunately, when it came to the Digimon meta, it's like red purple, and I'm like, I'm not gonna play red purple.
for the new one. Yeah.
For the
so
new
when
one.
he was released here, yeah,
Yeah.
couple months ago.
And then
yeah.
we didn't really play it. Actually, my brother and I, we ended up making a made up game with like a Monopoly board and Digimon like figures and the cards. We called it Digidice, and we just like played it. We made our own rules, or Peter made up his own rules, and that was like the most like we played with cards.
And he always won,
until-
right? Like it's so weird. He made the rules. He always won. It's
You know what's sad is he made up the rules and I still won.
Dang. Okay, that's how you know.
No, but we would have like people over and play it. So it was like some of my friends that I play Digimon with now, we used to play Digidice back in elementary together. Our own made up game.
Sure. Yeah.
We'll have to figure. I think we can find the rules somewhere around the house.
If you make a tabletop sim mod, we can stream it. Just super easy. Just
there you
go
go.
through that.
There you go.
Easy.
Yep. And then the rules is I win.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like
She always wins.
Addendum 7.
Yeah, I was like 1B.
Yeah,
it's somewhere down there.
It's
little
somewhere in
tiny,
there. Yeah.
I think I found him. Is this him?
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a butterfly who evolved.
Yeah.
Like a,
Yep. It's like a fiery butterfly
Blaziken.
moth thing.
Yeah. Before Blaziken was a thing, I believe.
This is
so.
the original Blaziken. With
Yeah.
wings.
It's like a moth one. Yeah.
It's like a
Moth
fiery moth. That's pretty sick.
It's pretty dope, man. That's why I was like, whoa.
I had I had a lot of those cards. So I moved from Canada to Kansas when I was 6. And I believe it was a thing where, well, one, I had like the Digivice, like the little like Tamagotchi Digivice. And when I moved to Kansas, I'm like, oh boy, do you guys have this too? And they're like, no, what are you talking about? We're playing football over here. Like, what are you doing with
Yeah,
with this?
the language barrier must have been tough, right?
Yeah, they're like, oh, for sure. Yeah. Restroom versus bathroom. Having to, remove the U from color was very hard for me to pronounce. So,
Saying A and
yeah,
sorry a
exactly.
lot.
I had to
Listen,
go to,
the language things that I learned, I was like, "Where's the bathroom?" Right? And
Mhm.
everybody was like, "I don't know." And I
Yeah.
was like, "Why does no one know where it is?
Mhm.
The toilet. I'm just looking for the toilet."
Yeah.
And they're like, "The toilet? You
Yeah.
mean the restroom?" And I was like, "I don't know. Yes."
I gotta poop. Where do I
It's a
go?
yes.
Like,
Can I just do it here?
yeah,
Like at
yeah,
this point?
yeah.
But we just called everything so different. We called
It
it a
is, and
washcloth.
it's minor, but then like
Closet.
people's like will not understand you if you say like one word different or yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously you have a more adjustment than I. I'm not trying to put us on the
A little
same
more
road,
international, yeah.
but yeah, I have a
But just little things
small
like that,
sibling.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
It's
is.
so interesting.
Yeah, as if I didn't need like more reasons to not have friends. Yes, exactly.
Meanwhile, over here, growing up in the West Coast, the only thing
Yeah.
I ever got a difference of is when people called soda pop. And
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, that sounds ridiculous. I don't know why you're calling it pop. It's soda, dude. It's on the label.
Wait until you find out like some people call all sodas Coke. If you go like
Oh yeah.
in the Southeast,
They
they'll
do.
say, "What kind of Cokes do you have?" And you're like, "I have Coca-Cola." No, do you have a Dr. Pepper?
Hey man,
And
that's
they're like,
just corporate
"Yeah,
brainwashing.
it is. It's the
You know?
cleanest
That's
of soda."
corporate.
Kleenex.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Kleenex.
Yeah,
That's marketing done right for them.
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
the short segue is I have a fond memories of those cards and the hand drawn ones, but also they'd have like these 3D models for some of them. Like specifically, I remember one for Betamon. I'm like, oh my gosh, they put a 3D image on a 2D card. That's amazing.
You know what? I
And
don't remember those.
yeah, so I
It was
think
a
they
Betamon?
Betamon. Yeah,
The
yeah.
original card game?
I'll try. I'm gonna race you. Yeah,
Okay.
Digimon
I'm
card
gonna race
game,
you.
Betamon.
They're
Let's
hard
see.
to find sometimes. Oh,
Uh,
is it this guy?
Let me
I think
see.
I found it.
If he's got a yellow diamond in the top left corner, there's a good chance.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
This
I
guy's
specifically, I was a kid who would not play cards, but I would have a collection and just stare at them.
Yep.
Yeah, that one specifically.
Oh
which-
yes. I
Yeah.
remember him. Yes.
yeah. So
Yeah,
it
this was
was
more
just,
for like Digimon World 1 stuff.
yes, yeah, and then they made a second game. To tie into this, I had all these Digimon cards and no one to play with, so I thought all the TV channels changed, so I couldn't find Pokemon or Digimon. So I'm like, I guess it just does not exist here. That's weird.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I've
which was
always loved
cool.
Digimon so much more. Like I grew up with both of them,
Mhm.
and the games for Pokemon, right, were so on point. But there was something about Digimon that connected with me so much more. But I
Mhm.
love both, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the other issue is that they were on PlayStation, right?
yes,
And I was a Nintendo boy, right? So that was like a second cross of like, Digimon was not fated for me.
interesting. Whereas
later-
Digimon was
Yeah.
for me because I had PlayStation only.
Yeah.
So Monster Rancher also. I don't
Yeah,
know.
exactly. And you didn't have Pokemon because it's on Nintendo stuff, right? So
Yeah. The only Pokemon I ever had was on my Game Boy because I ended up buying a Game Boy with my brother. Like we pulled our money. And then one of our friends who I still play Digimon with today, Benny, we would go to his house to play all the Nintendo stuff.
Sure.
So he had like the, GoldenEye, the Mario
Smash
Kart,
Bros, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Mega Man Legends, the good stuff.
Yeah.
So that was where I would play Nintendo stuff. But at home, he would come over and play like Digimon World. He would play Monster Rancher, all those. And I think one of the biggest things with Digimon is that they didn't keep to a singular line of games.
No.
Even though they were calling it the sequel. Like Digimon World 2 was a different style. And then 3 was a different style.
When the Digimon card game came out, I had this experience where a lot of people were like, oh, Digimon's back. And not knowing that it's been a consistent IP for the last 20 years, right? I had a lot of people who were in that thing like, oh, I had no idea Digimon was still going or it still had that capacity or something like that, which I found was really interesting as well.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Power Rangers, right? Everybody always thinks, oh, they're making a reboot when I was cast. And I was like, no, it's been a consistent IP. It's just they push it for the kids. So it's the new generation of kids get to watch it.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of like
and they
Pokemon.
didn't grow up with it. So that's kind of like the same thing as Digimon.
Mhm.
Every season had a new
Mascot with goggles.
exactly. Whereas Pokemon, same as like One Piece,
Yeah.
kept through with one person.
Yeah, it's Ash until I guess recently, where he's finally
Until-
retired at 12.
End of last year. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's a long ass 2 years, bro.
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
longest 2 years I've ever seen anybody go through.
For sure.
He has a 401k at age 30. So I don't know, man.
They've been through some shit.
Mhm.
I remember, man, that was the what was it? Orange Islands was one of my favorite openings.
I have like
It's a whole new world we live in.
the DB for that one. I don't have a lot, but that one I'm like I have to because
It's
it's
too
such a
bad the card games
weird.
suck.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's fun to collect. They have some
It
cool
is.
stuff. I think. Let me see. This is all my collections of
Of
Digimon,
stuff.
Digimon. Where's my? Do I have my? Maybe I don't have my Bulbasaur here. I only collect the Bulbasaur. Never
Mm.
mind. This is all Digimon. This is
Yeah.
actually my favorite
Oh yeah,
Digimon card.
that art is.
Oh.
I remember seeing that, and I desperately wanted it, and then like the price doesn't make sense. It makes sense, but not for me.
That was
No,
a
this-
promo, right?
This is the Analog Youth alt art, so it's
Yeah,
from
yeah,
EX1.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
But this is the Japanese version. The reason why I want the Japanese version, not the American version, is because there was a typo or a misspell on this one that they fixed for the English version. So if you
Gotcha.
look closely on the on his hat, on his beanie, it's gonna be
Oh,
hard to see it on here. On the
Yeah.
beanie, it says DE on the left side. It says DE because they
Mhm.
misspelled digital. They put digital
Oh,
because
okay.
they say it
Instead of-
digital world.
They do, yeah. Hmm.
So
Interesting.
in the thing they put DE, and then when they came to America, they changed it to an I.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's really cool. That's really
That's
cool.
why I want the Japanese version, not so much the American version. The
Yeah.
American version is dope too, but
It is,
I like
but yeah,
this.
I didn't know that quirk on that card.
yeah.
Cool. I'm looking at it now.
Yeah. So in that one, you can see that it says DI on the left side because we never really fully see what his beanie says,
Mhm.
but you could make out that it says DI and then ER, so it's probably Digital Master.
Yeah, something digital. But,
So that's kind of what it says. I don't think it's Digital World. I think it's Digital Master.
Yeah.
I think that's what the actual beanie says. It never like actually says it anywhere. If you look at the Digimon World opening, you can kind of make out an ER there. So it's like, I assume it's
Sure.
Master. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
because
yeah, the
even
misspell was without me.
Romanji, like Digimon, there wouldn't be any reason for an ER in the word Digimon, so it
Yeah,
would
yeah,
have to probably
exactly.
be a second word, yeah.
Yeah, because I was like Digital Monster, and I was like, nope, that's
And that would
really?
make sense for him to be one, I guess.
Wearing a-
Monster.
yeah,
Probably.
unless it says Digimon and it's
Yeah.
Digital Monster.
That's true. I was,
Ah.
you guys kept talking about Digimon World. You guys
Yeah.
like activated a memory. Of
Oh, I'm
this-
sure.
of this
Yeah.
specific like card art or
The
this,
battle?
Mhm.
PlayStation art. Yeah. I guess I played it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most I can tell you. I guess I played it because I
The
remember
biggest
seeing
thing you
this.
will remember is if your guy, if you stressed out when they had a pink poop sign, because that meant you need to find the bathroom. Otherwise, they turn into a Numamon.
Oh, maybe I don't remember it.
Yeah.
And they go,
Wow.
Tanamazo.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go through all these screenshots because I want to say I did. I remember this. Wait, is this? What is this? Okay, hold on.
Okay.
now we're
They
going
did-
to.
Podcast
did
within a
make that
podcast.
I know. Now we're going to.
They did make a sequel of that. Technically, finally, they
Yeah.
called it's Digimon World Next Order. So that came out on PlayStation 3 or so, or 4 I think maybe. Well, before COVID. It's like 2019, 2018 or something like that. And then they just revamped it for Switch like last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And that is the direct sequel to it. And instead of having only one Digimon partner, which was what made me so much like, oh, I love Digimon because it's just you and the buddy, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this one, they made you and two so that you could have like a DNA Digivolution sort of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or EXE, they called it.
Gotcha.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, because they were basically like, it doesn't have to be a specific Digimon for it to become any other Digimon.
Hmm.
I think I played it. I just can't say I did.
Yeah. And it's like basically you don't actually like tell them what to do. You don't like, oh, you do this move right now. You just go like attack, and then you choose what attack you want to do. And the better you are like friends with them, the more they'll listen to you.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Which is really cool to me. I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, because Pokemon's just like, yeah, all right, Pikachu's gonna tackle every time. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Pikachu. Yeah, and you had your like starter Pokemon, but like it didn't really mean anything, right? It wasn't unique besides just for the first one. So
until Leaf Green and like Pokemon Yellow.
Yes, yeah, that one Yellow changed a little bit, and then like Heart Gold, Soul Silver did have like you had the Pokemon follow you, but they always like add something like cool. All right, we're taking it away for Pokemon. Like that's a cool feature. Goodbye.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. They do that. You like that? You like that? No.
Yeah,
you can't have that. Not for the next
then
game.
Rebuy the game at $60 on eBay years later.
And then I think my next like card game thing was Yu-Gi-Oh in high school. Got into Yu-Gi-Oh mostly because of the anime, right? And then we bought our own cards, and we would like. I remember my brother was really good at playing the game, so he would. We wouldn't have money to buy too many cards, right?
Yeah.
So we would buy a starter deck, and then bought a bunch of boosters and like set up like a deck with it. And then my brother and I would go around school playing with people and being like, I'll play you for your deck.
Oh, and so like that is okay. Two quick things from that. One, the anime does not tell you how to play the card game. They just summon stuff, and you're like, okay, I guess that worked. Two, that is a core mechanic in the game where you have to ante up one of your valuable cards. So like you've been successfully seduced by the Yu-Gi-Oh anime of how to play this correctly.
Either that or Fast and Furious.
Yeah, whatever.
It was like for us, it was our way of like, how do we get more cards?
Mm-hmm.
So it was either like, oh, we'll play for the deck, or we'll place, and then if you win, we'll give you boosters. If you lose, you buy us boosters.
Sure.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So then we would always do that. And then a year into playing it, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make my own tournament. And I made my own like island tournament. So I made everybody bracelets and like the stars.
Oh, that's really cool.
And then they would pay me $10-15 or something. And then the pool would like half of the pool would go to the winner, the other half for the TO, obviously.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And then
at a young age, you know how tournament works. That's amazing.
Yeah. So we would all go, and they would all just like go around. We was like at the end of school on Friday, we all just met up, and then I gave them all their stuff, and I was like, go ahead, play. And I walked around looking for people, and they would go, oh, here's one star, and we'll play, and then they take the star and whatnot. And then my brother ended up getting a tie with the other guy. Like,
so you got like 75% of the money in your household. That's pretty good. Yeah. That's not too bad.
Exactly right. And we're like, let's buy more cards. And then somebody stole our cards, so we're like, let's be done with Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yes. That's like such the cycle that I think a lot of people have gone through for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I did Magic in college for a little bit. Enjoyed
Which is also
it.
what you
really
do in
enjoyed
college.
The sealed stuff. Huh?
Which I've got so many people who've said the phrase, yeah, I tried Magic in college. Like that was just like the next evolutionary step for getting into card games.
Yeah. Around our age, I think that was definitely like the trajectory, right?
Yes.
And you're like, oh, there's something new. That's right. It's not really new, but this is the.
I'm in the age group now. Sick. All right, I guess I'll try it. Yeah.
Yeah, and we played it, and I was like, oh, this is expensive. I don't know about this.
It's funny. I was literally about to say, like, the next step after Magic is when you have disposable income, and then you can choose which card game you want to play.
Yeah.
And at the time, like my friend group had just bought we all just got motorcycles.
Oh,
so it was motorcycles and cards, and we were like, bro.
Well, I hope they don't make an anime with this premise.
Oh, yeah.
We were like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Throwing cards at each other on the freeway. Go, whatever they did. I didn't watch that one.
Put them in the spokes too, just to really rev it up.
I'm looking at Hayden's background there with the Yu-Gi-Oh!
Right.
Disc. How
right
impractical is that to have that on a motorcycle in the middle of the highway trying to make, doing a
the wind's like blowing everything away.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
Listen, if you don't even have your helmet sized properly, my first helmet was not sized to me properly. It was a little bit too big. I was like this.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, you are just an additional distraction.
I was like, my first time on the freeway, I was like, all right, I've been doing this a month. Let's get on the freeway. I was like, get off the freeway, get off the freeway.
Yeah.
I was like, that's why you want aerodynamic helmets that fit you like a glove.
Yes. Yeah. That's why they wear helmets in the for the AR. They fit right in 5Ds, just the whole thing, right? Right. Yu-Gi-Oh teaching you how it works once again.
That's true. Yu-Gi-Oh just always knows. I don't know if Magic even lasted a year for me, maybe 2 years at the most, at max. I think it was 2 years. Maybe like I kept it, collecting it, and then I was like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until like 2021. When you left, Brian, you said set 4, right?
Yeah, around there.
I didn't get in until like set BT, I want to say 6 or 7. I think 6. I think it was 6 that I got into it. And then because it was 6 and then EX1 and then 7. Because I'm pretty sure EX1 was my second like set that I played.
Yeah, because I think BT, I know national finals for 2021, it was 2020 season, but 2021. No, it might have been 2022 because it came out during COVID time, and then it had the whole year before it had a real thing. But it was Blue Hybrid was really popular at the time. Yeah, and EX1 had just come out because Icewall was in there. Yep. And it was at 4 copies, and people were losing their minds.
Oh, so I remember that.
Yeah,
that sick meta. I didn't play, but I was like,
Blue was just dominating.
Yeah,
I remember I was trying to make Green Hybrid work.
It worked for like a week. There was a good
red Green Hybrid, and then we had who was the guy who won with Green Hybrid?
Russell Lepar.
Russell, yeah. With like a French name at the end.
Yeah, Lepar. Yeah, Russell Lepar. Yeah, he plays One Piece. I know him quite well. So he's watching this video right now, right, Russell? Let me know in the comments.
Russell, you gave me hope for Green Hybrid, and then you left me for One Piece.
He did. He was probably the most viewed Digimon video on my channel for a minute. Was that?
Oh, bro!
Everyone
wanted the Green Hybrid one.
Yeah, for the Green Hybrid one. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I probably was like half of the watchers on that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I was like, "Yo, you're gonna bring one. You're gonna make Green Hybrid viable. You're gonna win with it, and you're gonna put Terriermon in it and Rapid." At the time, I was really into Rapid too. I was like, this is it. This is the deck. I am still playing the Green Hybrid. We can play a little after this if you want. But I'm kind of making it work right now.
Yeah. I think so. To Russell's defense, I think he made that deck like the last week or two of that meta, and then we got like BT9 with like Melga and Alphamon and like Green OTK. So there's no hope for Green Hybrid after that either.
Yeah,
but, like that was such a powerful set for Digimon.
I tried to make Green Hybrid work with the Grandis.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
It was also like because Melga was so strong, everybody was playing security bombs, and we had no protection. Melga was like, "Cool, I'll just build back up in the back."
Yeah.
Whereas for us, that's why everybody was doing the analog youth, right? It's like, okay, my Melga gets blown up, I'll just rebuild in the back, no problem. I have all this draw power. Yeah. Green was like, I can't draw to save my life.
No, I have 4s in my hands and I have 6s. There's no 5s to be found.
No 5s.
What am I supposed to do with this? Yeah.
Rhino Beetle was always in security.
Always. Yeah.
No. And those cards all look the same, and I was like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah, look at all this fun you're missing out on, Brian. This is how dare you leave in BT4? Like you could have been.
I forgot to mention, Yoshi. I did return to Digimon for a short stint when Alphamon was popular. So I literally here is my Alphamon deck, and
I have
like 7 months.
A huge disdain for Alphamon decks.
I'll destroy it immediately. I don't know what to tell.
Mostly because I did the Japanese the Japanese English friendship battle.
The Digimon Card Fest-esque thing last year. Yeah. You were playing green and you were playing against
No. I played Machinedramon actually.
That's right, but you played against Alphamon, right?
Really cool.
I should have played Bloom, but this was Machinedramon BT11. No, not even BT11.
I think it had
It was
Castramon, but I don't think
BT10.
it had Castramon X in it, right?
It did not have
Yeah.
Chaosdramon X. It did not
Mhm.
even have the BT11 Machine Dramon.
And it didn't have Analog Man either,
It
right?
did not have Analog
Okay,
Man.
yeah. Ooh, you've set yourself up, huh?
Yes. And I was like, I could go with the Bloom and do okay, but I feel like I want to show off Machine Dramon.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a good show. I've been in those
Yeah.
situations where I'm like, I'll play this cool deck that's fun, and then my opponent's just like, all right, this is the meta deck, just shuffling it up. Like,
Yeah, I was like,
I'm here to
Alphamon
win.
just slapped me. I was like, you know what though? It was close. Because he kept getting de-digivolved and like having to like, and I could just swing right into his body, but I
Mhm.
had to pass over so much memory that he was like,
Cool. Yeah, Alphamon could go up its stack for 3 memory. You're giving him 7, right? So
yeah.
not the greatest.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. Listen, BT15, we get the new Mega Dramon, we get Marvin Jackson. It's gonna be Kush for our boy Machine Dramon.
Yeah. Yeah, I think which you'll have for like a couple weeks, and then you move, and then there's a different format. But that week,
Don't
I know
mention
you're
that.
on Do Not Disturb. You're playing Digimon probably right now, and I'll respect that.
I think it's a good time to ask. What have been your favorite decks since you've been playing Digimon?
Mine?
Yeah, like top 5 or something.
All right, pet decks,
Yeah,
Or like-
Any
Pet deck.
decks, yeah,
Yeah.
any decks.
right? Like, okay, so I've been trying to make green hybrid work for a really long time.
Yeah.
I've come to a good deck that I found with blue green hybrid.
Mhm.
I played against somebody with this blue green hybrid Pile Dramon Imperial Dramon thing, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's do it, let's try it. And with the Imperial Dramon Ace, it's been pretty good.
I love that card. Yeah,
And
it's really
then
cool.
I really like Justimon. That's one of my favorites. I've been playing that since EX2. Bloom has been a big one for me. I've been playing that ever since that came out. It's been my favorite green deck. And Machine Dramon. I think those are kind of my big ones that I always will play. I've tried Ravemon. I love Beelzemon, but when the advanced set came out, it changed the way Beelzemon played, and it was so much math.
Yeah. And worse, like people are like, "Oh, you're a Beelzemon player." Like, no,
Yeah.
I promise I've been sticking to it forever. And you're like, no, just because it's
Yeah.
good, you're playing it now, or
Yeah.
something like that, right?
And that's the hard part, is because that's how I got into this game.
Mhm.
My brother built me like a Beelzemon Beelstar deck that wasn't like really viable when
Sure.
it first came out, but I was like, you got
Doesn't
me
need
with
to
the
be.
Beelzemon. And it was so cool. It was like rad. The old art was really dope, like the BT2 Beelzemon and all that stuff, or whatever it was. And then it changed completely. Like, don't get me wrong, like Beelzemon clearly is still my boy. Like, the ones that I have cased up are,
Yeah, those Impmons are just quite rare. Yeah.
but no one runs this anymore. No one
No.
runs these two.
No,
Right? Like,
no, it's the other. Yeah, the other tamer's better. Yeah.
so
exactly.
to me, I'm like, still my boy, but I have the deck, but I don't play it that much.
Mhm.
It's just it's just in this box forever. Just
Oh, what a sick box to be what entombed for.
exactly. It'll just stay here forever.
Yeah.
Who's the dude from Star Wars? Who's like?
Oh, yeah, Han Solo. Yeah,
Yeah, Han Solo.
you got him in Carbonite. Yeah, you got him in
Yes.
Carbonite on the front.
I've got him in Carbonite. I'm pretty sure that's what that is supposed to be like.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
That's-
Clearly, it visually sees that. So
100%.
But I think those are my 5. Oh, I do really like Shine Gray as well. I love DP minusing people. So Shine is a big one. And Marcus gets to punch people.
he does.
I just don't like playing it like with friends, because it's just such an overwhelming deck sometimes
Mhm.
that like they don't really get to play, you know?
It is. Yeah, one of you, either you brick and you don't get to play, or they don't get to play because you
Right.
made
Yeah.
sure of
Oh,
it. So
you don't see that level 4 that 4 cost Marcus, don't even play.
yeah, yeah.
Just
You have a lot of search
mulligan
for
and
sport,
then-
but you can't find it.
Yeah. But I think those are my favorites. How about
Yeah,
you?
well,
I mean, I clearly Alphamon.
yes,
For me-
Alphamon.
Well, for me specifically, I've always been an Imperial Dramon and Yellow player. So I played a lot of what was his face in set 3? Well, the
Lord Knight?
No, the one before that.
What color?
Yellow.
War Gray, I guess. Shine Gray.
Shine Greymon. Yeah. A lot
yeah,
of
Shine Gray.
Greymon, a lot of Black War Greymon I liked.
Hmm.
Gurjamon, again, don't tell Denving.
No, yeah,
Um,
you're never on the top of that list with him around.
yeah,
Yeah,
all the early decks, all the early decks. But after that, I didn't really play too much, so I can't tell you. I'm
yeah.
sure Egg will give you a lot more decks.
I honestly just like armor. The biggest thing for it is that
Yep.
you can get really creative with your lines with it, which is really cool.
Coming back.
It is. It's which I'm really with a triple color card, which is really cool.
Dude, you guys get the first triple color card. That's
Hmm.
insane.
Yeah, yeah. And so being able to yeah, my least favorite thing about Digimon as a card game is that it's a little bit strict on like how you have to go up certain lines. Our deck building's a little constricted with how the game works. On top of, we kind of know what the meta looks like because Asia's ahead of us. So like when the set comes out, we know this is what
Mm,
the deck looks like. 40-ish cards, you get to decide 10 more. But
right.
that's it. But armor is the one I feel like I've gotten the most success with, and being able to make some creative lines because they are multicolored level 4s, which means there's a lot of level 5s you can go into. So I like that. And then I like the decks that don't play like Digimon, like Royal Knights and Hunters. So I don't know what that says about me as a Digimon player, but any of the decks that break the rules, I think are really fun and really cool
So
to
like Mother D and all that.
Mother D is like an exception because that's like there's no deck building. You put like 20 searchers and then like whatever else you want. So it's a little.
Yeah. Well, people have been using Mother D for other things lately.
Yes, yeah, for what Devas needs like a really good just white source to exist for some cards. So,
Yep.
and they don't, again, they're a deck that don't generally play by the rules of Digimon. So you get to do some weird and fun stuff with it, which is really cool.
Yeah. I really did not like playing against Mother D when it
Hmm.
first came out because Beelzemon just got shut on.
Yeah. And it would lock you down if you didn't have ways for security attack +1 if you got to there, which uh it was a cool deck, but it was just like a weird, it was like the first guest character, I think, for the game, which made it different in that way.
Right, for sure. And I think I like that we every time we have an EX format, they always do some sort of like something that
Yeah.
breaks the rules.
Yeah. I think it's cool, and they even though unfortunately most of them aren't just super competitive, but they let you play the game in different ways, which is really cool.
Right. I think Apocalypse is next, right? That's
Yeah.
the next
Yeah.
one.
But that has a whole like bag of worms with it, with how that
Yeah, what happened with that?
I don't want to embarrass myself for not knowing the specifics, but essentially
Something
a lot
got
of the,
banned, right?
yeah, the Garurumon, the Gabumon engine from Purple was just too good for filling cards into the trash and enabling the deck,
Mm,
that it just had really good synergy that they didn't really know when they released it. So which we've seen before in Bandai card games. For Dragon Ball, there was an entire set of like an entire draft box, which the product itself was supposed to be really self-contained, but if you put it into the wild of all the card pool, it won on like turn 2 very consistently. So
oh.
they just pretty much made the statement like, yeah, we forgot those interactions existed. We're just banning all the cards. And this was like
I'm like, what?
March of
Okay.
2020, when like COVID also hit and put everything on pause. They're
Yeah,
also like, yeah, this entire set's kind of banned. So
Wow.
that is silly.
it was a really silly
Interesting
time
that
for Dragon
that
Ball.
they just banned the entire set. I mean, I really like what Bandai did with the whole infinite loop thing with
Hmm. Yeah.
Zuba and like what is it? So and Ko and Tayo or whatever.
Yeah. Essentially, there's an infinite loop. So they said if you play this one card, I don't know if Brian knows this. If you play this one card, you can't play these 3 cards that enable the loop in the same deck.
Oh, I think we talked about it. This was like
Yeah.
within the last year, right?
Last
Like
couple of weeks.
last
Yeah.
month,
Like
yeah,
last
or
month.
two.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay. I thought
Yeah.
they did it like a year ago too, but
Yeah,
I
I
know it
think
was pretty
what's
recent.
cool is that they banned that specific interaction because it
Hmm.
wasn't meant for the game, and they're like, "Listen, it wasn't. It's not that it is too good or whatever, but
Hmm.
it stops your opponent from playing the game, which
Yeah.
is just not fun for anyone.
And and
So we're
and
taking that out."
in regulation deck building, you wouldn't put those cards together anyways, right? It's only for the loop. So they didn't want to ban the Tamer because then
Yeah,
the deck it was functioning for would just be dead on arrival. So it was a creative solution. I know other card games do that, but it's a unique situation for Bandai in general.
Sounds good to
yeah,
me.
that was smart. That was
Yeah.
really smart. I
Mhm.
like that a lot.
All right. Well, we're kind of encroaching on an hour, so I was hoping to do more of like a 50-50 split. But we'll real quick, we'll talk about Card Fest though, just because I know you guys are need to jump out, and I got a tournament I have to be admitting probably right now, but it's fine. Um, so we were all at Card Fest in different
Yep.
capacities. Technically, I was in Battle Hour. Yoshi was in Card Fest, and Brian was just wherever they needed him at that moment.
Mhm.
mostly at the One Piece station, but not always at the One Piece station. Yoshi, what was your experience though with Card Fest in general?
I mean, this was my first time commentating and being a part of such a big TCG event. And I feel like, I've done anime expos and I've commentated for other things. I've hosted so many things, of a similar nature, right? Done panels and stuff like that, like WonderCon. That's all like so normal for me, but I've never done it for a TCG space because I feel
Mhm.
like when I got into TCG in this time around, it was all online because of COVID. So being able to see everybody in person, being able to feel it all, and it wasn't just like a tournament that we were seeing. It was, all these activations that they had, the concert, me up there looking all goofy. I thought
Depending
it
on the
was,
day and the shot, but yeah.
yeah, yeah. I
It's
thought it
the
was really cool.
yeah, it's the other shot here. This
Which
one.
one?
Oh, he's got it queued up. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's me looking a little thick in my jacket. But speaking of, cool
I
jackets,
saw that when you
you
sat
know what I
down.
mean?
I was waiting for it to show
Ah,
up. Yeah,
ah,
What jacket is that? Is that the Digimon? Yes, it
ah.
it sure is.
is. Yes, it
He
is.
earned that.
Nice.
Mm,
The inside looks pretty fire, actually.
mm,
The blue? I like the
mm.
blue. Okay, yeah, I see that too. Yep. Yep. Let's just go back to the other one. You can, yep.
Yeah, yeah, there. Yeah, more.
There you go.
Looks like a
Oh yeah,
magician's
for the
jacket on the inside. It's
I
really
know.
cool.
Yeah.
I totally got top 8 and got this. No, it was
I
really
saw
cool that they gave
it from the other hall.
but it was really cool that they had this for the commentators.
Mm,
Because we give up our right to even try for top 8 by being there and being a part of it. But I think for me it was the right choice. I I personally love the game, but I love playing it casually as well. I like competing when
Mhm.
for fun for myself, but when there's other things to be had, like being a part of the community in a different way and involved, I would always choose that over it. It's not even like a thought in my head.
Yeah, and that's Brian and I pretty much have the same thing. We rarely play in tournaments. We're bad at card games though, so it's like makes easier sense for us.
that's
But
fine.
I'm worse than you, I'm sure.
uh,
Nah.
I
I
don't want to
believe
argue that,
every
but
time we've played, you've kicked my butt almost every single time. So
Hayden's pretty good,
nah,
but like
I'm,
also not. So.
no,
also not.
I don't have that compare. If yeah, making content for the community is definitely where Brian and I and where why we have been working on it for so long, because we just noticed that the space of like, there's not tournament matches all the time, or
Yeah.
there's not tournament data. So uh not going X3 drop and instead making that content for people is a no-brainer for me.
Right, right, right. For sure. I fully agree with that. And I have my own fun in my own way in that sense,
Yeah.
right? And I think the event for me was so wonderful. I really wish that we got more people like knowing about it,
Yeah.
because I ended up after the first day or two, I was like, yeah, I hit up a lot of my friends. I was like, yo, just come, check it out. If you're not even a TCG person, you're into One Piece, Digimon, just come.
Yeah.
And they did, and they were like, how do I play Digimon? How do I get
Mhm.
into One Piece? You know? And I was like, yo, let's go to Battle Hour too, because I got a chance to switch over to Battle Hour as well and do the
Mhm.
exhibition match for
Yeah.
Fusion World. And
And
it
win.
was exciting.
Yeah.
And win with my Broly.
Yeah, with Broly with green. Yeah, no. Yeah,
Spoilers.
spoilers. Yeah, spoiler. If you haven't seen that and you're watching this, I don't know what your priorities are, but
Yeah, 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 that's true. Go watch me beat Doa's ass
yeah,
live. Goku taking a
yeah,
beat down by Broly. But
yeah.
no, it was I think one of my favorite experiences doing some sort of like event like this. Like again, like I've done all the other events. This just was to me such a wonderful event. Of course, no event is perfect, but like more so on like other people doing bad things
Yeah.
during the event that got the mood down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
But
I
there's
think
nothing we can do about that.
I think you're right too. If just like, I mean, for us, it was a no-brainer going to that event, but and it's the first time they've done something like this. But it really was like a mini convention, right? For if you liked the
Yeah.
IP in general, there should be no reason you don't come over and see like the like all the manga panel, like all the exhibits. And I don't have a lot of pictures of that. Brian Doesn't have a lot either, unfortunately, but he has some, but
Mm.
not as much as he wanted, is what I'm trying to.
I have some,
Yes.
photos and videos and stuff, and like I had a last minute idea to do like a video for like a trend that was going around for a while with me. It's
Sure.
like, oh, we're Digimon players, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, yo, I might as well show off the Digimon booth and like show
Hmm.
off everything. So we were like, let's make it work with the booth, and that was fun for me.
Yeah.
And I want to see more of that kind of stuff, right? Like, dude, we had dope concerts,
Yeah.
It was cool.
like again, I'm not a One Piece guy. I might have to start being.
Yeah. 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 All right.
But
Remind me in 2 months.
but One Piece, like the music was so hype, and then they brought back the OG opening because I only watched up to like 160 or whatever,
Yeah.
and then they
Only.
sang the OG opening, and I was like,
Yeah. New. Yeah. The memory core like lights up. Like.
Activated.
Yeah.
bro,
Exactly.
I was like jumping up and down. I was like, ah! It was tight. It was tight. I had a really good time at the event.
That's good.
I know Hayden, I really get to see you much,
No.
and Brian, I
Just in
bugged you a
passing.
lot, but also you weren't working on the side that I needed to work with, so I was bugging the other guy more
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was everywhere. Everything everywhere, basically.
all at once.
Yeah, great movie, by the way.
Great.
Yeah. Good. I saw that. This. Yeah. It's great. I just recently saw it.
I know we were talking about like photos and stuff like that. Some of
Oh,
the
yeah.
some of the
Oh, yeah.
photos inside, like I really obviously I'm a big fan of like Spy Family and all the stuff that they had, but it
Mhm.
was just so cool because like obviously these are like the original manga panels, and some of the stuff
Yeah.
is like breaking it down to like the history, and I think what was that? Where's the other one? Oh, here you go. It was just cool to have the exhibits there. Period. You know.
Yeah, and they were really faithful, and there were some deep cuts in some of them too, right? Like, it wasn't just like surface level for a lot of what they showed. I think they
Yeah.
did a really
The
good
My
job.
Hero panels.
Hmm.
Yeah.
They had some dope panels there,
Yeah.
or not panels, like the manga panels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much. No, all of it was cool. All of it was cool.
Yeah,
And of course there
I want it
is
again next year, is what I'm trying to say.
I
yeah, me too.
yeah. I think they're trying to do this more permanently too. So
Yeah.
this without changing the tone. If this is the worst card fest they ever run, it's fantastic. Because if this is the
Yes.
low point, which is just for some
So
minimal, but I think there's only upward to go for it, and it still was a really really good show.
I think so too.
Yes.
Like overall, yeah, there were definitely some down points, but it was just more of like a bit of growing pains and understanding
Mhm.
like what do they want out of the event, and I think
Yeah.
it really came from the idea of battle hour. Like,
Yeah.
of course, myself and Hayden were the talent for that for last year, and I think they just kind of put the idea of battle hour. Obviously, they had battle hour, but the same idea of battle hour for Cardfest. And honestly, they probably need like twice as much space next year.
Yeah,
Just to
like
do
with
everything.
with I think One Piece could have taken that whole hall by itself, because I know
Yeah.
it's on the rise. Not to say Digimon's not popular, but
They
they
can get their
they
own
were
space too, honestly.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm leading into, and
Yeah.
I think it's really popular. And then the only thing that we don't really deal with, thank goodness, is that I know like the licensor approval for all that stuff in the background is not fun for literally anyone. I think that's like the biggest
Yeah.
biggest like red tape for a lot of that kind of stuff. But to just have 3 different IPs playing card games in the same space, I'm sure was already like somersaults through a lot of that kind of stuff.
Oh, I'm sure. And but the thing is, like, I feel like a lot of people got excited about it.
Hmm.
A lot of people got excited about, like, I had friends who came just for the One Piece stuff because they were not into, and they're thinking about getting into One Piece.
Yeah.
I had people who were playing One Piece who were like, what is this Digimon thing all about? And then you got me who got hooked on Fusion World, and am definitely going to be playing Fusion World as soon as that comes out.
Yes.
So
Um,
good.
so there's a lot of like things that cross over, and it makes sense. Like, hey, TCG people, here's TCG stuff, right?
Mhm. Yeah, and
Like,
I think there's as someone who plays all the card games, every community is like, this is our community. We hate those other 3 kind of stuff. But having this unification, and honestly just seeing people play the game and have fun, I think opens up people's eyes of like, oh, this isn't a bad game, or like this is there is some merit to this kind of stuff. And I think that's to see
right,
that live in person, there's not really a good substitute for it.
right, for sure.
Yeah. Bandai Comic Con. It's gonna be sick.
Sure.
You heard it
Just,
here
just
first.
hire us again. That's all we want. That's name it whatever you
Hire
want.
us again, absolutely.
I think it was great. I think overall, it wasn't too bad at all, and I think we're gonna have another one next year for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, not too much else to say. I mean, we can go through the whole experience, but it'll take a little.
That's a whole different
That's
podcast.
a whole
Yeah,
different.
that's part
podcast.
2 which we probably can't afford right now. But
Yeah, exactly. But we
Yep.
are close to the hour mark.
Yeah.
Any other things you guys want to talk about?
I have one quick story about Yoshi that he's not even involved with, but I don't think I've told you this story yet. So I'm gonna. Okay, so I
No,
was
I
at
never.
home in Kansas,
Uh-huh.
and my family and I were watching a movie called Bullet Train,
Oh,
and so how that movie Yoshi's in it. That's the spoiler, but he's kind of like in the background for one scene, and then he gets more featured later in the movie. So I see that first scene, I'm like, I think I know that guy. And my dad was like, sure you do, Hayden. Sure you do. I'm like, all right, sure, maybe so. And then you have the more featured part. I'm like, oh, I definitely have that guy. Here's a picture of me and him together. And my dad's been really supportive with all this stuff that I've done, like with the partying community. But that was like one of the things where like, oh shoot, Hayden knows this guy. Like, yeah, there's this is a mental link of like, oh, he's not just making videos on YouTube or like that guy. So thank you for inadvertently helping validate my career choice through being in a movie that I've seen. That is all I'm saying. So I don't think
good. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad you watched it.
Yes,
that puts money in my pocket.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's a fantastic movie in itself too. But you really sold it for a lot of reasons. So
that's good. That's the power of Yoshi.
It is.
And yet I have not experienced. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a screenshot of this, put it in my family's WhatsApp, and be like, hey guys, this is Yoshi.
Yeah.
Just let them look.
Put it in your family's WhatsApp.
Yeah.
You are Southeast Asian.
I'm Filipino, but it's close enough.
You know that's Southeast Asian, right?
Filipinos don't ever admit it. they think
I was like, homie, you in the Southeast Asia.
They think they're pretty much.
All right, what you want? You want Pacific Islander? All right,
Pacific
we
Islander.
give you that.
Filipinos
You want
always
Mexican?
want
We give you that too.
We can do both. It's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
You can have all of that. The thing is, Filipinos and Indos are probably the closest. I mean, aside from like Malaysia and whatnot, but Indo-Filipino, we're both Malay. That's branched off. You went Spanish route. We went Portuguese Dutch route. Mm-hmm. Well, you were Spanish American.
Not by choice, but yes.
Not by the same here.
I know. I'm just saying. But yeah, no, it's totally, 100%.
And also, lumpia is ours. Okay, bye guys.
No, hey, listen, hey. You know what's funny? As soon as I post that picture, if I do post a picture, my mom's gonna be like, "Is he Filipino?"
Is he Filipino?
She always does it. She always does it. It's gonna.
I mean, what's funny is I went to a very Filipino high school, Filipino and Korean. I was in Cerritos. I'm sure you know where that is.
North.
You don't know where? Oh, you're in Vegas. Sorry.
He's in Vegas. You're not. LA.
Yes. So Cerritos, we had the first Jollibee out here.
Nice. Okay.
So I used to think that Jollibees were just normal, and then I went out of Cerritos, and I was like, "Where the fuck are the Jollibees?" And I realized we were the only ones who had it. Yeah. But that's how Filipino my high school was, and everybody spoke Tagalog, right?
Of course, yeah.
Or Filipino, whatever you want to call it.
Sorry,
so then everybody, I was like, and everybody thought I was, but because I looked, and my language is similar. Yeah. We say similar things, anak, pintu, aku, ako. Yeah, so
unfortunately, Mama, I don't know. Listen, if you grew up in America with a Filipino mom, what happens is that as a young child, you'll ask, "Hey, can you teach me Filipino?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then later, "Hey, can you teach me Filipino?" She'll say, "You don't want to learn." And then when you get older, "Hey, Mom, why didn't you teach Filipino to me?" And she will tell you, "You did not want to learn." I'm like,
no.
Mom.
Here's the thing. A lot of immigrants, not just Asian immigrants, but immigrants, when we moved to America, everybody's like, yo, let's be as American as possible. So they assimilated. I mean, I did the same thing. The
Yeah.
only reason I speak Indo is because I moved here when I was 9, and then I started working here in Indo like the past 5 years. But
Mhm.
when I moved, I remember like distinctly making a choice with my brother, going, "No more speaking Indo. We have to have a fluent, no accent English.
Yeah.
If our English has any accent, like we're screwed, bro."
Yeah.
So we pushed it down, which is why like one of the biggest things for me is to bring my kids to Indo, is to make sure that they have that connection with that culture. Because I felt it in my adult life, going like, oh, why do I not know my culture at all? I couldn't speak Indo for, again, my very first movie I did in Indonesia. I thought I did because I did as a kid,
Mhm.
and I moved there and they gave me the script in Indo, and I couldn't read. I was like, and it's in ABC. It's not even like characters, right? It's ABC stuff. And I'm like, I don't know what any of this means.
Yeah.
I'm so screwed. I have 1 month to learn this language.
Jesus.
Dang.
But again, that's when I like, okay, it is important to have that
Mhm.
connection with it. So I'm trying now.
Yeah.
That is probably what's gonna happen to me soon, because I really want to learn Tagalog one of these days before.
And you've got
Yeah.
those interviews for a movie, right? So the script's coming for you, right, Brian?
Right.
Listen, the scripts are okay for me. When the scripts, like, it's all written, I can memorize it. I know it. When I get on set, it's all going to be memorized. But if we're doing interviews like this and I got to speak all philosophical,
No.
I sound like a 5-year-old, bro. I looked
Yeah.
back at an interview I did 4 years ago and I was like, oh my God, how did anybody take me seriously?
They're too busy looking at the pecs, right? Luckily, you
Yeah.
did this the entire
I was
time
like,
through the interview.
I did nah. I don't know what to say anymore.
Fun stuff. Yeah, you have inspired me to make sure I take a trip to the Philippines. I still haven't been, so
Hey,
it's on
I'll
my
be out there,
list.
bro. It's a 3 to 4 hour flight from Jakarta to Philippines. Come visit me, or I'll go to you. It'll be fun.
For sure.
There will be a
I did a
card fest
movie in the
there,
Philippines.
probably. We can do
Oh,
that.
Yeah,
A card fest.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. You coming? Hayden?
Hopefully, they'll do
What's up?
something in the Philippines there.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay, Hayden, you know you're not coming up here.
Oh yeah, because I'm
said-
banned,
you
right?
Said, you said yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
The least
get me-
assurance-
get-
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to Japan first. We'll see how that
Yeah,
experience
that's
is,
true.
and then that's first
Listen,
experience in Asia,
that's all close by.
and branch from there. All right, I'm a cautious man,
Yeah.
There you go.
clearly.
Are you gonna go for the end of the?
we're
Card
we're
Fest?
trying to get to Card Fest Japan, so we'll see if that works out.
March,
on,
right?
on my own, yeah, it's in a month. I know, I understand the proximity.
It's pretty soon. It's pretty soon. I
Yes.
too understand it, Hayden.
Yes, we all do. We all do. And February is the shortest month, even with a leap year, so we get it.
Happy Black History Month, everyone. Listen. I think we should close up on that.
Yes,
note.
we could probably
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
talking forever.
See you in Japan.
Yes, 100%. Yoshi, thank you for your time. It's been a good time. Hayden, any closing words?
Nope, it was good. I'm happy. Yoshi, good luck on your move too. I know that's a big move for you too, and with
Thank
your
you, bro.
family. I hope only health and good times for that. And just congrats on being able to move back there too.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I'm
of
excited.
course.
Okay, well, that was it for episode 1. We'll catch you guys into the next one. I have no idea how to outro these.
No,
This is still
goodbye.
brand new, so we'll see you guys in the next one.